Hi, welcome to Aquaba Football, where all the EPL shenanigans happen. This week, we want to look at the review of Week 6, the big match, Arsenal versus United. The United feel the resurgence are back. Arsenal feel hard done by their inexperience, and maybe VAR also had a say. City, Haaland is still firing, but City couldn't find a way to break down Aston Villa. Chelsea, the roller coaster. They keep oscillating with their performances and their results. Tottenham seems to find a way to scrape things. So far, they haven't been scintillating, but I guess it's a result business. Liverpool had an adrenaline match, not necessarily because West Ham is doing well, but hey, it's a local derby. Regardless, when it comes to local derby, form goes out the window. So today, I have to my right, Coach, and to my left, George. So I'll start with you. Week 6, how did you see things? And I can see the jersey and how things went. So Coach, over to you. How did you see the assessment of the week? Maybe you can start with the Arsenal, of course.
Well, I will first of all like to say good evening to your viewers and good evening to my friend George. And thank you for having me. My overall assessment, I think the week didn't live up to expectation.
Of course.
And then speaking as an Arsenal fan, I was highly disappointed.
Okay.
So the week is not good for me.
You seem very, very toned down. You know, the energy of last week seems to have been sucked out of you.
Yes, because I've been sad throughout 48 hours now.
Is it the level of trolling or?
No, not really.
I can see the grin on his face.
Not really because of what I've gotten from my Man Utd friends, but for the fact that I expected Arsenal to do more, and more especially because we dominated that game and we couldn't take our chances.
Well, Mourinho always said the best team doesn't always win.
That's true. And
so
it showed.
Coach, George, fantastic win. Perfection. I must say, a match of perfection, a match of, exuberance. The resurgence of United seems to be popping up, like a lava popping up of a volcano mountain. I saw a lot of excitement. You know, Rashford is being made to look like a Ronaldo. Unfortunately, by the Arsenal defense. What was your assessment?
Hello to my dear Manchester United fans. Okay, so, and hello to Coach.
Hi, Coach.
And thank you for wearing your Arsenal jersey to show you a real Arsenal fan after losing. Okay, to me, I expected this week, last week, to just go as normal as it went. Because we needed to humble the Gunners a bit to know they are on earth. They are not going anywhere too far. Yes, okay, so with my assessment, yes, Arsenal played well. But Manchester United came with a game plan.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, and the game plan was to utilize the high-line tactics by their coach, Arteta.
Okay.
Which they had the tools to do that. And they helped Arsenal with that, of course, because you could see Rashford turned into a different animal and a different player on that day. Yes, and Bruno Fernandes and Eriksen too made the day, and
I was very impressed with
Manchester
Eriksen.
United took their chances.
Yeah,
it's really sad that Arsenal were not able to take their chances.
Yes. I mean, it's even as an Arsenal fan. I mean, obviously as a host, I have to be a bit more neutral. But it's not so much the disappointment. I think it's more of the naivety and inexperience that we saw from Arsenal, and also more importantly from Arsenal's coach Arteta. That 3 substitution, I think, really imbalanced, made the team very imbalance.
Exactly, because
And then it opened up the defense, and
Yes.
unfortunately, you have
yes,
people with
not
a
to
lot of
cut
pace
you-
like
not to
Rashford.
cut you short. You're right, because we had the chance to come back,
Yeah.
but the substitution disbalanced the whole team.
I think it disorganized the whole
Yeah,
structure, or probably not structure, but the setup of the team.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll come back to that. What do you make of Liverpool and Everton?
Liverpool versus Everton.
Yeah, it was a draw.
It's a derby too. Let's not forget
Yeah.
West Side derby. Yes, and those matches at Everton's home is not easy for Liverpool.
Of course.
Yes, they always their best is a draw. But as for me, watching the match, I'll give credit to the goalkeepers, especially Pickford. He did very well, very very well. He made almost about 8 saves, and Alisson to made one end-to-end saves at the other end after a counter from Everton. Yes, following a corner.
But once again, we saw a controversial VAR ruling in terms of Cody's goal being ruled out, and it seems to be becoming a trend in virtually every match these days. I mean, would you say we really need to relook at VAR in terms of some of the decisions? I think there's maybe too much interference with what you would say either tackles or a very very thin line offside traps, where literally you have to pixelate the images to be able to tell whether it was truly an offside. The question that I always ask is, should there not be like maybe a little bit of a margin of error, because we are human beings, and therefore there's no such thing as 100%.
Of course. For me, I don't like talking much about VAR.
Okay.
Because it can go your way today and tomorrow is going against you.
Certainly.
So it all boils down to who VAR favors, So,
but is the whole point is it wasn't designed to favor any particular team or any particular individual.
where I think VAR should always come in is when it comes to offside and then penalty. But when it comes to like what happened in Arsenal,
You mean the Martinelli first goal?
yes, VAR is not supposed to come in there. I see no reason why they should come in. Some people might say, oh, it's because it's Arsenal and all that, but I think no. You cannot be coming in when the referee is like 10 yards away from the foul and he didn't take it. If it's an obvious, yes, because anywhere VAR should come in should be an obvious foul.
Okay, George, if you're being honest, what is your take?
On Arsenal's foul.
No, VAR in general, and also maybe
this week was
Cody, and also maybe Martinelli's goal as well. What do you make of it?
To be honest, this week was a very bad performance from the VAR and their
Referee,
crew.
yeah.
Yes, and their crew, because we had about 4 instances: West Ham's goal, Arsenal's, Martinelli's,
Yeah.
Cody,
And actually, Aston Villa as well.
yes.
Yeah, Aston Villa also had a similar
Yes.
issue with
But
VAR.
then again, like Kochi said, he doesn't want to dwell on that, because today it might go against you, tomorrow
Well,
it might favor you. Chelsea were complaining against Tottenham, even made a petition.
yeah,
Yes, but
And the
this
following
time
week they start
around,
complaining.
they benefited from it.
They benefited from
Yeah.
it. So
So-
yes, it's all boils down to.
Would you say, on proportion, on the balance of the season, maybe everyone will get their own fair share of decisions
Of
that
course,
goes
yes.
against you, and also that works
Yes,
against
the,
you?
the, the, the
Of
game
course.
lives for controversies like this. It doesn't have to be 100%. Otherwise, there will not be any excitement.
Look at the red card. Let me not say red card. Van Dijk's tackle.
Yes.
If you ask me, that should be a red card.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but VAR didn't look at it.
And again, Kono
Fair
Cody's
enough.
goal, I think it should have stood, because it was a clear goal. Kono Cody's goal.
Okay.
It was
But as a United fan, what do you make of Martinelli's?
Martinelli's. It was a tackle from behind. That's it.
But was it an infringement?
It wasn't a tackle.
On Kochi's
No,
side?
I wouldn't say it was a tackle. Actually, it was a tag. I mean, the tussle.
Yes,
it was
but
a
then-
tussle.
but
It
then
wasn't really like a slide tackle.
Yeah,
It wasn't
but
really a
it's a
tackle.
tackle.
It was a tussle. Sorry.
As intelligent as Ericsson, when he realized he was about to lose the ball, he raised his leg to attempt.
Yeah, he protected the ball.
Yes, then he actually attempted to kick the ball, That was where where confused the referee. If he
Okay.
actually attempted to, okay, I want to show my strength and all of that, it was unnecessary at that point. But he then realized no, he was losing it, so he just raised his leg and tried to play. That's what intelligence midfield.
I want us to quickly move on. Looking at Aston Villa, Man City. Now, Haaland is still firing. Fantastic. I mean, in terms of, I've actually made him my captain for FPL. However, City looks like they are leaking goals. The City of last season, we're not quite seeing the same City. Would you say because they've allowed few players to leave and maybe that has kind of disturbed their balance of play? Make no mistake, they are still getting results, but they're leaking a lot of goals. And sometimes when you come against a stubborn team, especially at the lower end, you might not necessarily be able to rescue yourself. And that's probably what happened with Aston Villa. What should you guys take? Coach?
All right. You see, I'll start by saying this has been the norm for City these days. Every season they start very sluggishly.
Okay.
And then before the middle of the season you see them firing again.
Okay.
And secondly,
so there's no need to panic.
yes, secondly, the introduction of Haaland is going to take time to gel with the team, for him to understand exactly.
But he seems to have gotten off on a really, really strong note. Anyway, by the way, guys.
Yes, it's not all about scoring. It's not all about scoring. It's also about
Defensive work.
playing the way the team likes to play.
Okay.
You can see. Let me use Liverpool as an example. You can see when Firmino plays with Salah, Salah shines.
Okay.
But as soon as Firmino is not there, Mane is not there, Salah goes missing. So that's my take on Man City for now.
George.
Okay, they are getting the results all right, but I'm very worried. I'm not a City fan, but I'm worried because maybe they are learning from their UCL mistakes. They are focusing more on the UCL as to where to find their goals and cement.
So
their
you
places.
feel like maybe their focus might not necessarily be
Yeah,
in
the
the EPL,
because
but
they
probably on trying to draw history
Yes.
by maybe looking at the
UCL.
Champions League.
Yes.
Okay, that's a very interesting
Yes,
take.
but then Haaland has to also play with the team, involve his teammates more to get De Bruyne, Foden, and the rest firing.
Hey,
Because
guys,
of-
let's quickly move on to Spurs against Fulham. I mean, you know, people are not actually talking about Spurs, but strangely, they haven't been fantastically explosive. However, they are getting results. I mean, they have drawn their last 2 matches. They drew the previous match they drew, and this time around they won. Make no mistake, they are still in third position. And I'm also look at them with a bit of caution because even though they're not necessarily playing well, they are getting results. And at some point it will click. One person, like we probably have been saying week on week, Song Min, he's just unbelievably gone quiet. He's just gone missing. I'm not sure what's happening, but hey, I'm sure everyone goes into their blip and stuff. What do you make of set quickly before we move on to the next phase?
Well, Tottenham against Fulham, I think they totally dominated that game. Tottenham dominated that game, and you might not really see what they are doing because Conte actually works more on the defense department of his team, and you can see Tottenham of old. You know, when you look at the meaning of Lakadaisika on Google, you will see they actually use Spurs as an example.
Okay.
Spurs defense as an example. When you look at the word Lakadaisika.
You still feel they have defensive problems?
No, for now, I think Conte has fixed that. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Conte has fixed that, and then they seem to rely more on their defensive ability now than the attacking. That's why you see someone like Son missing out, Kane playing some kind of shot that you cannot expect him to play. That attack is not there anymore. But when you look at the defensive side of their game, I think they are informed.
Anyway, guys, please subscribe, like, and comment. Let us know your thoughts, and also support us. By once again subscribing. Follow us on Twitter and also on Instagram. We will leave the link is in the George. Quickly, I think in terms of aside the big six, which other team really stood out for you this week?
Okay, this week.
Yeah.
Okay, Manchester United Masters. Brentford.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Manchester United is not the big team anymore.
Oh.
Thank you for saying that.
Aside the
You said aside the
Yes.
big teams.
Yes.
You're calling Manchester United
Brentford.
Yes.
Outside of the big, stop being mischievous.
Brentford.
Outside
Yes.
Brentford.
Brentford.
They were impressive.
They're impressive. Leicester is a bad side though, yes. But you can see what they're trying to do there.
Okay.
They are getting in goals. All their strikers scored on the weekend. Anthony, the striker we have been always talking about, that we don't understand why the big teams are not going for him, but you can see week in, week out, he scored his first hat-trick this season.
Okay.
And he has more because there's no way Anthony is also injury prone, so you can see he can.
Oh yeah, I mean,
more-
I would have loved for even Arsenal to have gone for someone
he
like
can make more goals for
Tony
himself.
and stuff. Coach, as outside the top six, which team do you think stood out for you?
Well, I will go with Brentford.
Okay.
Generally,
Yeah.
assessment throughout the season, I give it Brentford. But this past week, I give it to Everton.
Okay, for the draw against Liverpool.
They played well. Apart from the result, they played really, really well. They were confident. They were playing their game without fear. And then.
But wouldn't you also say that it's a derby match? And like I've always said, derby matches, form doesn't count.
Yes,
it's about adrenaline.
Yes, that's why I cannot give them generally.
Okay.
Just that last week,
Okay.
they surprised me.
Okay. Anyway, guys, scoreline, obviously the Arsenal United banter and etc.
Which I won last week. Yes, which I won.
I think the person that probably got most of the result right was you. Okay, so
Yes.
let's look at this week matches and give you a prediction. Fulham are home to Chelsea. That's a West London derby.
Okay, so
You start with
normally I'll stand with Chelsea, but looking into the schedule for this weekend, the weekend after Champions League, okay. So but Fulham will have enough rest, so I expect Fulham to give a fight.
Okay, but you go for Chelsea.
Yes.
What's scoreline?
2-1.
Okay, 2-1.
2-1.
Yes,
Coach?
I think I agree with.
2-1.
Yeah, I agree with.
Okay. Ordinarily I would edge towards Chelsea, but I'm looking at a draw. I'll stay on the offense. I'll go for a draw because it's a derby match, and there will be a lot of adrenaline. This would definitely not be about form. If you know where Stamford Bridge is and you know where Fulham is, it's like literally the end of the road and the junction over there. It's not far at all. When you're on a bus, no, you can actually walk from one end to the other.
Oh, I see that on the map.
Yeah, so they're not far from each other. So yeah, there's a lot of banter, and obviously there's a bragging rights at stake here. So Bournemouth are home to Brighton. Coach, scoreline?
2-0.
Going for Brighton.
I wish I can go for a Brighton and give a triple captain. one of.
McAllister. Brighton. I can go for Brighton 4-1 or 4-0.
Against Bournemouth. All right. Leicester at home to Aston Villa.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
A tough one to underdogs and under firing teams.
George,
Okay, I'll go with Aston Villa.
scoreline
2-1, 2-0 to Aston Villa.
2-1 or 2-0.
I will give it to Leicester.
Okay.
If only he will be bold enough to put Vardy on the bench again.
That's an interesting thought.
So I give it to them probably 2-0 or 2-1.
Okay, I think I personally will go for Aston Villa win. I'm not sure the scoreline, but I'll probably go for 1-0 or 2-1. Liverpool at home to Wolves.
Liverpool is taking this one.
Okay, scoreline.
With 3-1 or 3-0.
Scoreline
Okay, I'll go with Liverpool, but 2-0.
2-0. Okay, I'll go with probably I'll side with you 2-0. Southampton are home to Brentford.
Southampton. No, I will give it to Southampton because they understand their
But
pitch.
Brentford are in form.
They understand their pitch better than any other team
Okay.
in the EPL.
I'll give it to Brentford.
You give it to Brentford?
Brentford are doing very well.
Yeah, I'll probably go for Brentford. 2-0. Man City are home to probably the match of the weekend. Man City are home to Spurs.
That's another tough one.
Yeah.
Because you know Kante,
But City are home though.
yes, but you know Kante knows how to play the big guys.
He does.
Totally see that.
Especially City, yeah. Because actually City lost this.
But if Pep has learned from what happened last season, and with the introduction of Haaland, I believe it's going to be Kane versus Haaland. So I'll give it to City.
Okay. So scoreline.
3-1 or 2-1.
3-2. Scoreline.
I think Haaland will be the difference.
Okay.
This time around, Haaland will be the difference.
Okay.
So when you mark Haaland too much, you know what De Bruyne can do from there. So I'll give it to City. So
Okay.
2-1. Yes.
I'm going for a draw. 2-2. Arsenal are home to Everton. But no, wait. I'll start with him.
Alright, as now they are first, they should pick up their pieces from the other game and learn something out. And I think they have to beat Everton. But looking at Everton's performance last week against Liverpool, if they have to play like this,
Yeah.
yes.
But Everton was at home and it's a derby.
It's a
so
yes.
it's not.
Maybe
it's not
they might
quite
not
the
get
same.
have the instruments to hurt Arsenal like Man Utd did, but then I expect a draw.
You expect a draw. Okay.
Arsenal will dominate. Arsenal will win. 3-0.
3-0. Okay. I think this will probably be a 3-1. Arsenal. I think if it was away, then home to Newcastle. That's a very, very good match, actually. Two teams that are, I mean, Newcastle has been on form, but West Ham and such looks like they are actually hitting gear. They're heading towards.
Yes, I'll give it to West Ham.
You give West Ham?
Yes.
Okay. Scoreline?
2-0.
Wow. Okay. He's very confident. What about you?
For me, I'll go for a Newcastle win or draw. Yes.
Okay.
More
Scoreline?
likely a draw, but okay, if Newcastle are supposed to win, maybe 1-0, 2-1. Yes.
I'll go for Newcastle win 2-1.
I see you like Newcastle.
Not that I like Newcastle, but I just feel like Newcastle are very compact. They're a very disciplined team. Yeah, they don't give too much away. So, and West Ham can be a bit clumsy. That's despite the fact that they can also hit you. They can hurt you. So personally, I'll go for Newcastle, probably a 2-1, or maybe a draw. But I'll lean towards more of a Newcastle win, 2-1. Crystal Palace at home to Manchester United.
Okay, that's one game I don't want.
No, wait. I'll start with him.
Crystal Palace to win.
Is that an emotional statement or just being realistic?
No.
Scoreline?
Coach.
2-1.
2-1 to Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace.
Okay.
Go for
United?
United.
Scoreline?
2-0.
2-0. Okay. I will probably sit on the fence on this one and probably go for a draw.
Obviously.
Okay. No, it's not obvious. It's just, I feel like Crystal Palace are not easy. They are home.
Yes,
Don't forget. If it was away, then I'll say probably United will win this match. But I think it'll probably be a draw. But hey, I mean, it's a prediction. So let's see what happens. Leeds are home to Nottingham Forest. That's the last match of the week. This will be week 7.
I will predict a draw.
Draw. Leeds against Nottingham Forest.
I think I'll go with Leeds. Nottingham Forest.
I-
Their new signings. They are not.
Yeah, I'm not seeing. I think
They're
they've
not-
made too many changes. Too many changes. So I'll lean towards a Leeds.
Their goalkeeper is also doing.
I'll see a Leeds win. I'm leaning towards a Leeds win. Probably like 3-1, 2-1,
Yes.
maybe. Yeah. So guys, hey, that's the end, man. There's more to come from us. Subscribe. I was expecting a boxing match between these guys, Manchester United and
They won't allow me.
So hey, please subscribe. Let us know your thoughts and definitely Aquaba Football. Peace.